Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me once a week. I'm obsessed with constant and never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe now so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 13th episode of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about the pandemic. I know that surprises everyone. Not really. And we were really talking about some of the ups and downs we have been experiencing. And in case you don't already know, fluctuating moods are totally 100% normal right now. So many of us are experiencing just one day feeling really motivated and the next day wanting to do nothing but watch Netflix and eat whatever's in your refrigerator. I've had those different moods in one day, so I know that everybody else is probably feeling the very same way. Now, some of the thinking behind why it's been extra challenging with this scenario is because we don't have a definitive end in sight. If we knew we were going back to normal in 2 weeks, for example, most of us would just be like, oh, we'll just put our heads down, we'll barrel through it, and we can do anything for the next 2 weeks. But we don't know when this is going to end. And that can be pretty unsettling and create a lot of an uncertainty for most people. So is there a way that we can turn this around to where we can have it in our favor, at least make it where it's a lot better for us? So I'm going to start out with a story. So here it is. There's a farmer and he has this old mule. This poor old mule fell into the farmer's well, unfortunately. The farmer, he heard the mule's cries and sympathized with him, but ultimately he decided that there was nothing he could do to help him and figured the best he could do is put the mule out of his misery. So he called his neighbors for help and he told them that they were just going to fill the well with dirt, ultimately burying the mule and ending his plight. Well, when the first shovel of dirt hit the mule's back, he was hysterical. He was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? This is terrible. And he shook off the dirt. And as he did that again and again, he had a thought. He said, you know what? If I just keep shaking this dirt off, I can watch the dirt grow. And if I step up, eventually, maybe I can get out. So that's exactly what he did. He just kept shaking it off and stepping up. Shaking it off and stepping up. And eventually, because he never gave up, he was easily able to step out of the well. So you see, the very thing that was meant to bury him actually saved him. So, how can that help us today? How are you dealing with all of the uncertainty that we're feeling right now? I mean, I personally kind of like a lot of variety in my life, but this amount of variety and uncertainty is more than I care to have. People have varying levels of tolerance for things. Have you thought about your tolerance level for uncertainty? Because right now we're feeling a lot of it. Did you know that uncertainty is actually one of the 6 human needs? Tony Robbins, who's one of my biggest favorite mentors around, talks about this a lot. All humans have these 6 human needs in common, and we need them and meet them in different ways. So here they are. Number 1 is love and connection. 2 is certainty. 3 is uncertainty, also known as variety. 4, significance. 5, growth. And 6, contribution. These are universal for all humans in all cultures across all countries. So probably right now to a degree, at first when we were all told to quarantine, most people were like, okay, this is different, maybe even a little exciting, kind of like a snow day. But as it went on, we realized the severity and that people were really getting sick. And on top of that, they were losing their jobs. So the uncertainty got so much worse and kind of has grown from there. I don't know if you guys are all feeling that same way, but I bet you are. So how do we turn this into something that actually works in our favor and makes everything feel better? Just like the mule in the story, how do you turn it around and make it so it works for you? Well, one way is to manage the level of uncertainty by managing the other human needs we have as well. So, where are the areas that you can feel more love and connection? Where can you feel more certainty? How can you have more growth, contribute more, feel more significance? We have a lot of uncertainty right now, so there may not be a whole lot of room for more uncertainty. Maybe you balance that with finding more certainty. So, where do we find that? Well, one idea is, and I talk about this a lot, is having a solid daily routine. One that you do no matter what happens. I mean, that is your set point routine. Create that and stick with it. That is one way to get certainty. Another way is to completely organize and fix your home, make it feel beautiful, make it feel exactly the way you want it to feel. We're home right now. That can give you a lot of certainty as well. And remember, certainty is more important right now than it has been in a long time. Now, how about increasing your feeling of love and connection? Maybe you could FaceTime or Zoom with friends. My little sister had a virtual happy hour with 3 of her best friends on Zoom, and they all got so much joy from that. I loved that. My mom and dad are actually having their religious meetings over Zoom, and they're getting joy and connection and love from that as well. I'm doing a Zoom class tomorrow. Every Saturday, I do a fire class, fire yoga, and they're doing it on Zoom. So I'm super excited. We'll see how that works. But this is all a way to get connection and love. Now, how about growth? One thing that I know, and that many that have messaged me have said, that learning something new is really, really helping them to limit the uncertainty. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, that's a distraction, but maybe it's helping you have certainty in that you're making yourself more valuable in your workplace. Or maybe you're creating some more income producing opportunities. That's a nice option right now. Also, how can you contribute? Are you reaching out to the community? Are you sending love to our healthcare workers? Many are trying to support local restaurants or even just coordinating fun ways to connect with your neighbors. I know I'm not even a kid, and I love seeing all these teddy bears in the windows. It's so fun. Can you do something like that? Think about ways you can contribute, because having a purpose or a mission beyond yourself is a sure way to focus your mind on more positive thoughts. Oh, and bonus, it's also a sure way to help you feel more significance. So, if you're feeling extra anxious right now, it's normal, but it may be because you have uncertainty overload. Think about ways in your life to counteract that by shaking it off and stepping up. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this message and found it helpful. If you did, I would be super grateful if you would give me a 5-star rating and also share it with your friends. And do not forget to follow me on Instagram at @TheHeidiDawson. Love you guys. Talk to you in a few days.